Hi guys, it's Matt here at ESCBubble, and I'm so pleased to be joined with Leila, who's aiming to represent Ireland at this year's Eurovision. Leila, how are you?
I'm good. Yes.
Good, great to see
Excited.
you. How's your day been so far?
Pretty, yeah, pretty good. Just a lot of communication with people regarding Eurovision. So
Yeah, must be quite
it's been
hectic.
okay.
Sorry.
Yes. Trying to like balance just the, you know, all the stuff that's going on in my head with just like, being trying to be calm and, take it easy.
Yeah. So, congratulations on getting to Eurosong. And as we know, if you make it through, you'll get to represent Ireland at this year's Eurovision. How did it all come about?
Yes, well, it's very interesting because yeah, hadn't crossed my mind to enter Eurovision or like, I had been hoping to do something like that. Like in my mind, I'd been like, for example, I sent in an application for Britain's Got Talent, but then when I read the contract to that, I actually got an audition, but I read the contract to that and I was just like, I actually don't want to do this because it's going to destroy my career and the contract's terrible.
Oh,
So
yeah.
um so then I was just sort of carrying on with life, and then I randomly got this message from this lovely Estonian songwriter, and she said that she had this song idea that she really wanted to enter into the Eurovision Song Contest, and would I want to collaborate? And I was just like, yeah, like that actually sounds really cool. So I, one just started with the first bit and then sent over the vocals to her, and we managed to get the application together and sent in the application and kind of just forgot about it. I just thought, oh, it was nice to really to meet that group of that team of songwriters.
Yeah.
And then it was such a pleasant surprise when I got the phone call from RTE. I was actually like in Tesco's shopping, and I was like, sorry, who's this? And they were like, oh yeah, it's RTE. You got through to the final. I was like, oh wow, that's great.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm very happy about it. I think that this feels like so good. Like, I mean, I love the vibe of the Eurovision and I love the whole community aspect to it. And I think it's very good in the way that they respect the artists' like creative choices, and it doesn't really interfere. The only impact it has on my career is positive. So it's extremely good, and I'm fully behind the song, and I really love singing the song and really believe in it. So it's all
Oh,
good.
definitely. Yeah, it's such
Yeah.
a cool, funky song. It's yeah, a song I've been listening to so many times, and I love the video as well. When you're in like the bathtub, it's very quirky and unique. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what inspired you when you put the music video together? Did you have much creative input in putting the video together?
Yes, so it was just me and the cinematographer that worked together on the ideas. He was extremely helpful and very focused, and he had a lot of great ideas himself. I kind of like put out the general vibe that I wanted, and then he was able to come back with me with loads of ideas, and I was just like, oh yeah, yeah, I really like that. And I kind of, we kind of like both bounced stuff off each other. So I suppose it was a collaboration in the end. But he was great, and he had come up to me when I was playing a gig like a couple of months before that and said, oh hi, I'm a filmmaker, and if you ever want a music video made, just let me know. And this was like before I even knew about that I got it through to Eurovision or anything. So then when the time came and I was like, oh my god, I need a music video, I was like, who will I contact? It was like, oh, I have this card of this guy. So yeah, and that worked out really well as well. That really fell into place, and I'm very happy with the video. I think it
Yeah.
turned out well.
So with the song Wild, can you tell us what the song's about?
I've always felt like in the music industry, you kind of have to know who you are, and you have to like be very sure of yourself. and the song to me puts that in. It just sort of like says that like it in a perfect way. And I've always found that I always get things done a lot better if I actually just trust myself and go for it. So the song's very much about like empowering yourself and trusting your instincts, and yeah.
And in terms of when the song goes to the Late Late Show, can you tell us anything about how it will be staged at all?
Yeah, well, we're currently in the process of deciding those details. But what I do know is that it is quite a dancey song. So I think to do it justice, I'm going to need some good choreography and maybe a couple of backing dancers. So that's kind of a bit of a hint as to what direction we're going in. So that should be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. And as we know, Ireland has got a long history at Eurovision. They've sent so many songs that have done so well. They've won so many times. Do you have a favourite song that Ireland sent?
Well, I suppose it was a very long time ago when we last won, and it might have been just when I was very young. But the one that I can remember or think of is the Dana, like All Kinds of Everything song. Yeah, it's very sweet. But I really I've seen the one that I really like. I think it's Sweden, or it's Cornelia Jacobs' Hold Me Closer. I just to me that it's just so good. I really like that performance.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites.
And when you're putting together music, what gives you ideas? What inspires you?
I suppose I think most of my songs are from like personal emotions and just emotions that are maybe hard to process, but when the song comes out, it just kind of puts everything into perspective, and it's like relieving myself of those difficult emotions, and the song kind of like almost is healing. So it's almost like songwriting's always been a bit like therapy for me.
Yeah. Now, at ESCBubble, we like to play a game of Never Have I Ever, just to make it quite fun. Are you up for a quick game?
Yeah, okay, go on.
Brilliant. So, if you can give me a number between 1 and 30, that then corresponds to a question, and then we can then go for a question, if that's all right.
Okay, 15.
15. Never have I ever been to a psychic.
Have I been to a psychic? I don't think I've been to like a psychic. I do remember someone casually just like telling my fortune when I was young. When I was a child, they said like something like, oh, you're going to be involved in like some kind of dancing and creative. And shortly after that, I started doing hip-hop dancing. So wow. I suppose that was pretty psychic.
Yeah.
And my parents told me as well that when I was a baby, they were in a cafe, and I like put my hand on the window. They were sitting outside the cafe, and then someone came out and said, oh, your baby's gonna have a long life, like, because they read my palm. So I suppose those are pretty psychic experiences.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool. Right, should we go for another number?
Okay, 8.
Number 8. So, never have I ever got drunk and done something that I regretted.
Oh, well, I suppose, I mean, everyone, I don't know. I think everyone probably has an experience like that. I don't really drink that much anymore, but I remember when I first went to college, I was at uni and staying in these halls, and my flatmates had this chart on the fridge, and it was called the Chunda chart, and they'd mark off how many times they'd like thrown up from drinking. Thankfully mine, they had loads, but I only had I didn't have any for ages, and then there was one night where I like got so drunk and I had to tick the box on the chart.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't really like getting to that stage where I throw up. I think once like I knocked a glass, I was like sitting with this guy, and like I actually knocked his full pint over onto him. But he didn't seem to care.
Should we go for one more?
Sure, yeah. 24.
24. Never have I ever had a job that I hated.
Oh, well, I mean, I actually haven't had that many jobs that I hated. Like, I worked in a cafe a couple of times, and there were things I enjoyed about it, but I definitely felt that I was supposed to do something more. So I never sort of lasted too long. I had to get out kind of soon enough. But for the most part, I've been very lucky because at the moment I'm able to survive off gigging and my music. So, and I've been gigging ever since I was a teenager. So there's always been some kind of way to earn a living from my music or something that I really like. Yeah. So yeah, I've been lucky.
That's great. So you've had your gigging, and now you've got Eurovision as well. And with Eurovision fans, they're very loyal people. So I'm sure at your next gig you'll have Eurovision fans, and they'll be following you. And then we have like Eurovision conventions and things like that. So a lot of Eurovision singers, they say once you get into Eurovision, it's like a job for life.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. I do love the whole community aspect of it, and you're part of the gang in a way then. Yeah.
Well, Leila, it's been great talking to you today. Loving your song. It's such a diverse, unique song, and it's a great direction I think that Ireland could be going in. And yeah, wishing you the very best of luck. I'm sure you're going to do very well, and fingers crossed we'll see you in Liverpool this year.
Thanks so much. Yeah, hopefully.